resilience. When you hear the word resilience, what you're probably thinking of is bouncing back. Falling down 6 times and getting up 7. It's the story of the underdog who refuses to quit. The phoenix that rises from the ashes. The comeback kid who proves everyone wrong. And you're absolutely spot on. That is resilience. We often relate this word to great examples like J.K. Rowling, who got rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter even got accepted. Or Steve Jobs, who got kicked out of the company he founded. Walt Disney got fired from a newspaper for lacking creativity, and yet he went on to create some of the most imaginative stories in history. Let me give you examples on a more immediate level. Let's try this. When I say something that applies to you, I need you to raise your hands and keep them raised. Alright? Raise your hands if you've studied really hard for a test or an exam, but you ended up performing badly. Alright? Raise your hands if you had your heart broken. Raise your hands if you've, applied to a school or a program or a job that you really wanted to get into, but ended up getting rejected. Raise your hands if you've lost a loved one. Look around you. Setbacks, irrespective of the magnitude or the kind, do not discriminate. You may lower your hands now. Thank you so much. But here's the thing. Every single one of those experiences, as painful as they were, made you go back and think. Now that could be you thinking about what you did wrong, or what you did way too much, or what you did not do at all. But what it's also going to make you realize and think about is what you need to do next. So when you zoom out a bit, what do you see? You see that you now have a new perspective, a better understanding of what works for you and what doesn't, a clearer idea of who you are and where you're at. And this, in turn, makes you stronger, smarter, and more resilient. Resilience is the anchor that ignites vitality, triggering energy, creativity, and the spirit of growth. It is the ability to adapt, bounce back, and grow stronger from adversity, allowing individuals and communities to transform their obstacles into springboards for growth. So now that we've had this discussion, you've got some thinking to do. Do you think that the relevance of resilience is one-dimensional? Is it just the zero to hero stories where resilience plays the main character? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ananya Kadam, a computer science undergraduate from BITS Pilani, Dubai, and I believe that this definition of resilience needs to be expanded. Why? Because what happens when the knockdowns don't stop? What happens when you're not just getting back up once, but you're learning to dance on a ground that doesn't stop shaking beneath your feet? Resilience changes its form, meaning, and need not only with situations, but also time and generations. In today's digital landscape, resilience has taken on entirely new dimensions. The smartphone in our hands isn't merely just a device. It's a mirror reflecting constant judgment, a stage demanding perpetual performance, and sometimes a prison of comparison. Today's youth navigates waters different from any previous generation. Consider this. 78% of adolescents report checking their social media hourly, with each scroll potentially delivering multiple fresh wounds to their self-perception. Studies have shown that body image concerns have risen dramatically, with 94% of teenage girls and 64% of teenage boys being negatively affected by social media imagery. These are not mere statistics and numbers. They represent millions of young minds battling invisible storms while appearing perfectly calm on their carefully curated profiles. We battle a relentless tsunami of unrealistic beauty standards, with our self-worth being constantly eroded by the perfect facades of filters and photoshops which mock our authentic selves. We struggle desperately to find genuine human connections in a digital wasteland where the hollow approval of likes and comments has replaced real intimacy and understanding. And most heartbreakingly, we fight to hold on to our core values when peer influence no longer stops and no longer respects our boundaries, invading our most private sanctuary through the glowing screens that never sleep. Today, the youth is fighting endlessly. They are navigating an entirely new war zone. Young people today are like deep sea divers. The further they descend into digital spaces, the greater the pressure they must withstand. And without proper equipment like healthy coping mechanisms, supportive relationships, and critical thinking skills, this pressure can crush even the strongest of spirits. Today, we're not just fighting battles of the previous generation, we're navigating an entirely new war zone. What we're witnessing isn't just traditional grit. The emergence of a new resilience matrix, which is sophisticated, is absolutely necessary for our digital survival. And so, we must first build identity resilience. The strength and capacity to remain truly ourselves when the algorithms constantly whisper, "You should be more like this," with every scroll and every click. When 67% of teens report feeling worse about themselves every time they use social media, maintaining a stable self-concept becomes an act of quiet revolution. Next, we must build connection resilience, the capacity to form deep human bonds while navigating through digital social structures which are designed to quantify relationships rather than deepen them. Real connection requires vulnerability, and yet we've gone on to architect online spaces which shame the genuine and worship the fabricated. Then comes attention resilience, perhaps our most precious cognitive resource. An average teen today receives about 237 notifications daily. Each one a deliberate attempt to redirect their most precious cognitive resource, attention. The protecting the ability to think deeply isn't just about productivity. It's about preserving the very foundation of independent thought. It's not about teaching your kids to toughen up. It's about recognizing that they're establishing what it means to maintain humanity while being embedded in systems deliberately designed to harvest their attention, identity, and social instincts for profit. As the next generation, this is our defining moment. Our resilience isn't just a nice to have, it's our lifeline. What we're witnessing today is extraordinary, which is learning to be fully human in a world that is forgetting how. So we don't need your criticism, we need your courage to stand with us. We don't need your panic, we need your presence. Because when you teach us to rise above the fake perfections of social media, you're not just watching us cope, you're watching us transform poison into medicine, digital chaos into genuine self-discovery, mindless, aimless scrolling into purposeful action. Our resilience today, our call for authenticity today is your blueprint for tomorrow. So let's be the generation which is not broken by screens, silenced by algorithms, and reduced to mere metrics. Thank you.